Hello, my name's Stephanie Piche, and I am the editor and publisher of the RCR Media News. And we're here to talk to Sante Fe Film Festival filmmakers for this special series before our festival starts. And today we have cast and crew from the film Broken Gaiete and the executive producer, creator, mastermind of this amazing film that is very unique. It's not something you're going to see anywhere. Is Hafid Abdelmoula. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Yay.
you.
Yay!
Awesome.
We got
Yay. Yay.
So I have to say, this film looks like it was a huge undertaking. Was I right or was I wrong?
Very.
Absolutely.
Right and wrong?
Yes. No, you're totally right. It was a
Yes.
huge overtake. It was.
I see, I saw some notes about the film and that, you had some naysayers. I think that they thought you weren't going to get it done. It was a bit ambitious.
Very,
And
yes.
tell us about that, because you don't seem
Yes.
the type of person that's going to stop at somebody saying, "No, you can't do it."
No, I don't stop. I'm known for that. I just, that's how I am. Even coming to the US, it was, oh, there's no way you're gonna make it to the US. Watch me. But anyhow,
Here you are.
there you go. So the film initially, when I joined my when I went for my grad school, and I presented them with the idea, hey, I'm thinking of making a feature film, and they're like, okay, why don't you just do a short film, you know? And I'm like, no, I did a bunch of those. I really like to make a feature film. Well, okay, so what is the idea? And I told them the idea, and they just bush bay, like they're just looking at me like, what are you talking about? And okay, what do you have? You have budget, you have blood, you have. I said, I have nothing. I have a bunch of people who are willing to give their blood, and that's all I got. So
So you sold everyone sold blood to make money for this film? Is that what you're talking
pretty much, literally, literally.
Bad
So
idea.
yeah, so they said no, and I said, well, and they said, I said, if you get, they're like, well, it's gonna fail. It's gonna look garbage. There's no way you're gonna make this. I said, I
Mm.
don't care. You guys said, do you guys really think I'm here in school to I want to fail in school. That's what school is all about, And then I said, if you guys think I'm here for a piece of paper, I could go and anywhere and get a piece of paper. I'm here because I really wanted to make a film.
Mhm.
And eventually, after all, it was good. They watched it after the fact, and they even honored me with my scholarship and a bunch of other stuff. And I'm like,
Nice. So
there you
we're
go.
so did any of them faint that you had to pick them up after they saw that you did accomplish what you set out to
Right,
accomplish?
right. No, all of them, they were really surprised. They God, how can I say it? They were surprised. I had some advisor in the beginning that did not want to help me, but once they saw the first footage and whatnot, everybody wants to jump on board, and it
Sure.
was crazy. Yeah, so, but it was yeah, Vermont College Fine Art, but they did good. They did me really good. Yes, shout out to them,
That's
VCFA. There you go.
that's awesome. So tell us a little bit about the inspiration for the story. So how did you come up with this idea, and how did it get formulated into your masterpiece that we're going to be watching at the festival?
Okay, so the idea, it's my brain is always active. It's always seeing things different perspective. Things that I see may not be the same way for other people. So I always question everything. My background, my. I mean, since I was a kid, since I lived in Morocco, I mean, it's totally different culture.
Mhm.
And coming here and dealing with the different culture in the beginning, it took me a couple of years to just shut up. I remember 1998 to maybe 1999, I did not speak. And what made me do that is because I try to be friendly with people, and I'll try to tell them jokes, and they just look at me like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, this used to be funny in Morocco. What happened? How come people are not laughing here? So, and I backed off, and I said, you know what? I have to understand the culture first. So I sat down, I backed off, and I understood how everything works in this country. And then the question arises was, well, then who's right, who's wrong? It's
Mhm.
all perspective, you know?
Mhm.
And that's what my movies really is all about. It's just things that we deal with on a daily basis, just craziness and how everybody sees it. So I put my eyes in it. Like, that's how I see the world. That's how I see everything. It just, who's right, who's wrong, I have no clue. I mean, we're just a bunch of people trying to survive and make it to what, who knows. So that's the idea behind the film. I mean, really, if I go into details, it's gonna take me for hours. What I did is, we noticed on the movie, I did some psychology there. There's a five steps of human development, and that's what he did is all about. We see him when in the beginning when he was born. We see his mother Kashu lying down with her legs open. That's a baby came out, and as he goes through the whole film, we see him being relying on his mother to help him to do this, and then eventually he finds love and he becomes this adolescent guy who just like he knows it all, and then he gets into that early adulthood and he wants to change the world, and at the end he just goes back to zero again. So there is that. There's religious issues, there's dogma, there's political stuff. It just, I try to cram everything I can into this weird and unique story, like you said.
Mm. So, what challenges did you find along the way in just creating your script?
Ooh, the challenge of creating a script, number one, I work a full-time job and it's very demanding. I mean, I work 10, 12-hour shifts every day. So I had a plan. When I joined school, I said, all right, that's the only way I'm gonna write the script. So what I did is I'll come home about 7 p.m. I have dinner, I hang out with the family, and right about 9, 10, I have my spot. And I go there and I write until about 3 a.m., 4 a.m. I go get my 3 or 4 hours of sleep, and 8, I'm back at work. And I did this for about a year straight,
Wow.
like literally like a soldier. The challenge is the fact that I'm always tired, so my brain doesn't work. And when I come
Mhm.
up with great ideas during the day, I'm working and I can't go on right. So I have to like hold on to that. I have my little phone, I'll record whatever I'm thinking about
Right.
and I'll go do it. But the school too, because I have to give my script to the school to give the okay and the
Mhm.
blessing, and
Mhm.
they seem not to understand it.
Mm.
Nobody seems to understand my script. Like everybody's like, what the hell is going on? What is this? I'm like, I don't know. I see it here. That's all I can tell you. I have it. I mean, the script is just more of like a guidelines to me, just to go through what we need to shoot.
Mm.
But it was the fact, just like any writer, there's moments where you hit the plateau and you feel like, is this even worth it? And then you write, oh, there's an accident that happened that made me cry. I wrote about 30 to 40 pages one night, and it was really some good stuff. And my iPad crushed,
Oh boy.
and I lost those whole 30 or 40 pages.
Oh
I
my
went to my
goodness.
wife and I woke her up crying, literally like a baby. I said, I lost my script.
Oh no.
But luckily I was able to pull it back and get it back. But yeah, no, that was the challenge of it. The challenge was that the location, I didn't know where to shoot it. The idea of that world, how it should be. I had an idea, but not quite. And that's when Tiffany comes in. Um, so it, let's just say it was challenged from all the way through. I mean, it was just so many, yeah, so many.
So let's take a minute and talk to some of the other members of your team about what they their jobs were in the film, and let's start with Elizabeth.
Yes, I play Kashu. I play the mother of Idir. And this role was challenging for me because she was quite subdued and serious, and I'm not. I'm like, I'm like this happy, kind of loud person, and laughing, always happy, and she was not. So I had to really tone down. He actually had to train me on not to raise my eyebrows, because as a full-blooded Hispanic woman, we do that without knowing it. So he had to train me on that a little bit. But he, I don't know what he saw in me to be able to fulfill this this part, but I'm blessed, and I'm grateful, forever grateful that he chose me, because there was a part, and it's very deep, and it's the part where we're in the cave, and it's me and my son, and he tells me very quietly and no emotion. He says, "Liz, I want you to go to a dark place. Do you have a dark place?" I said, "Yes, I do." And having been raised from a mother who has mental illness, I've had a dark place. He goes, "I want you to go there." And I was like, okay. I'd never been asked to do that before. And even though it was a dark place, it was also a safe haven for me. The cave was a safe haven for me. So the people around me, my co-star, which was Hector, who plays Idir, he's fabulous. He's wonderful, and he makes you feel, and that makes it make it real. And Miss Tiffany, who's got that wild hair over there, she's our set director, and she made it so real. Everything she made made us believe that it was authentic. It made us believe that we were in Gaiete land, and we were Gaietans. And forever, I will be a Gaietan, because when you see Hafid and you saw how he put his hands to his head, he did that a lot. And for us, we believed in him so much that when he did things like that, we knew he was having this vision in his head that we could not fathom. So we trusted him, we believed in him, and we did absolutely everything we could to make this film a success.
Wow. That's a kind of cast member I want to have on my next film. Wow, amazing. So Hector, tell us some more about your character.
So my character's name is Idir. He's a complete mystery to the village, as well as Kashu, which is played by Liz. It's basically I wake up in between Liz's legs in the desert. It was hot. It was miserable. And don't know who I am. So I'm learning things as I go. We find this village full of weird ass people, and I don't know what I'm doing basically, but it was such a unique filming experience. I mean, we've all been in a few films in here, and this one by far takes the cake. Number one is it's an indie film, a full feature film, which you don't see that many being actually realized here. It took us a couple of years to finish. Long hours in the desert, in the cold, in the heat. We're all banged up when we're done with it, in more than one ways, physically and some emotionally. But it was, I think, I would say, is easily my most gratifying experience in film here in the borderland. And it was just a weird trip. When you see the film, you're like, what the heck am I watching? When you're like, where the hell am I? Tiff, what is this? This is hell. But this was a labor of love, and I'm just glad to have been part of it, honored and thankful to Hafid for putting his trust with Idir on me. I had to keep myself in this space in my head of who Idir was and how Idir came to be the man that he ended up being, and then back to square one. Memory erased again. Hope I didn't give a spoiler, but no, great experience. I hope that that folks really enjoy it, and it's just the fruit of our hard labor, and proud to be, in this group with this, talented, group of people.
Wonderful. Thank you. So Mark,
Yes,
tell us
ma'am.
about you. I think you're, I think I saw you running around in the trailer somewhere.
Yeah, I'm a man child who's really angry at everybody. I have my issues and I deal with them totally improperly. And I don't have a father, so I never had that guidance. And I pretty much hate anybody who comes into our village from the outside. So yeah, I spend a lot of time conniving and trying to up my game. And when I meet Idir and Kashu, I definitely want them to leave and leave us alone. But certain things happen which just set me off. So, but what's cool about this movie, it's really unique, like you said, and it's really different. It hasn't really been seen. And it's a no man's land, and it's no time, no place. And it's, Hafid and Tiffany created a world that hasn't really been seen before. So when you watch Broken Gaiete, you're like, yeah, this is so cool. This is so unique. And everybody did give their blood, sweat, and tears over the course of a year. Basically we shot a day or two each week on weekends. And, but everybody that stepped onto that set was there for Hafid, and we helped each other. And, I was the only one allowed to have an ego. Because I was always in character.
Wonderful. Good to know. Good to know. Thanks, Mark. Tiffany, everyone keeps pointing to you. So we need to know more about you and what your talented hands and mind did for this film.
Thank you. It was an honor to work on this project. It's the craziest endeavor I've ever, taken on in my life. I'm originally from Canada. I moved to New Mexico in '97. I've been in healthcare since the age of about 15, and I retired about 8 years ago and pursued my interest in art. I've worked with Hafid a couple of times on small projects. Absolutely brilliant director, great writer. I just really felt drawn to him. And when I was reading the script and I was asking Hafid about it, what was really neat is, the place doesn't really exist in any specific time, or place per se. And so I had to review my life and create objects and concepts that are in reference to things that we universally understand, but they're not functional. And ambiguity was so important, and incredible talent. It was an honor to serve them.
And did I see an award from another festival from December for the production design? Was that you?
Yes, that's her from Lonely Wolf in London.
Yes, yes, right. It was, right.
I got to howl.
Yeah, you have to howl. I know.
Fabulous. That's amazing. So, tell me what was your process in trying to come up with these landscapes and these, the design of what we're seeing as the world of Gaiete?
It was really a very difficult process at first. I spent hours and days with my headphones on walking around places, wondering what substance can, is this going to be created out of? Everything is kind of the lead character, everything. How can I say this? I'm a scavenger. I love dumpsters, and I like the things that people don't use anymore. And I keep items. And so all of the items that I've kind of kept over the years, I looked at them and I thought, that reminds me of the concept of a cane. This reminds me of the concept of this or that. And so, is it okay if I talk about weed barrier real fast?
That's okay. I mean,
Okay.
not for me, but
So,
I don't know.
I just gotta tell you guys that the number one thing that I came to when I saw it, I felt like I was so happy. I didn't know what we were going to create their habitat out of. It couldn't be functional. And so I went to a hardware store multiple times, and I happened to be walking around, and this package was sticking out. It was a roll of weed barrier, and there was a bit sticking out. And I held it up to the light, and I thought, oh, this is this is it. But anyway, so I don't even know if that answers the question. It was using items around me that referred to concepts and were ambiguous but on point. And weed barrier became, basically, I was creating art every time I was on set. And so I was creating art out of their habitat and art that that this story would take place in. So.
No, that's great, because, you know, I think a lot of people miss the importance of those surroundings. And then you have the nerds that look for every Easter egg in a film to see if they can uncover, you know, that secret, why that's there and what that is. And so it's as important as the actor on the set to carry that story, because a lot of that character can be your, you know, a prop or something that can kind of come to life in a film. So that's exciting to, you know, hear a little bit more about process, and it isn't like throwing some chairs in a room and people sitting down. I mean, this film, when I have to tell you, I see a lot of film and TV, a lot. And when I started watching your trailer, I'm like, wow, I haven't seen this before. And reading the notes on the story, I haven't seen something like this before. So for me, as someone who's looking for a different kind of experience that I'm not going to watch and go, oh, that's part of this film and that TV show, you know, concepts in a movie, it's refreshing to have a movie that you're walking into, sitting down and watching, and then you're not being distracted by, oh, that was on XYZ movie and so on, because it is that different and unique, and deservedly, you know, in this film festival, to show, you know, people who love independent film. And that's another wonderful thing about this, is that, you know, as was pointed out, you know, this is a feature. It's not a short. I mean, and not that shorts are any easier or harder, or, you know, it's just something that as an independent filmmaker, a lot of times budget dictates, I only can do this. I only have the resources for a short. But you pull together this feature, and it is it. So did you do fundraising?
No,
Any
no,
specific? Oh,
I
this was
didn't do.
all.
No, I'll tell you. They asked me. Somebody said, "Where's your budget sheet?" I said, "If I sit down to make the budget sheet, I'm not gonna make the movie. I'm gonna get discouraged, and I'm gonna see all this monies I need, and that, and before you know, we'll be like, nah, I don't want to do. I don't have a budget sheet. I don't even want to know. If we need something, tell me. I'll pull up my card and let's go buy it, and that's it. We go along. We go as we go. That's it.
Right.
I don't want to know what it's gonna cost me, you know, because then automatically you stop. It's just that's the way it goes. Oh, I need this, and I went really frugal. Like I'm a little bit familiar with cameras and what works and what doesn't work. So the camera that we shot, it cost me $1,300. That's it. The microphone that we use, they cost me like $120 some. So, and I know the specs, they match the one you can buy for $800-900. So I use that technique just because at the end of the day, it's what's in your frame, not what's outside of it. So I took that approach and I went with it. And back to not only that, yeah, the school fought me for that too. They said, well, you need some sort of budget sheet. You need to know how to put I said, I don't need to know how to do none of that. I just want to make a film. That's it. And back to the time and the place, they fought me for that as well. They're like, well, when is this happening? You cannot write a script without knowing the place. I said, I don't know. I really don't know. And I don't want to know. All I care about these people. That's it. What they're going through and what they do. But the place, time, who cares? But
Right.
that was my approach, you know. So,
And it's almost like in a film, people have to have some kind of anchor. This was in 2020. This is
sure,
2018, 1999, you know,
sure,
just so they can have a frame of reference.
sure.
But did you have anyone pulling a cell phone out in the film? No.
Oh no, it did. No, it did. Well, we had some planes in the sky that we had to like touch up later. But yeah, no. But other than
Those
that,
darn
it was okay.
planes.
I know. Yeah, that was another
There were
challenge
planes,
too.
there were jeeps, there was gunfire.
Yes.
Oh yes. Oh
Oh
yes.
boy.
Oh,
So when you
yes.
said quiet on set, not everyone heard, right?
No.
It could be quiet before we shoot. The minute we say, all right, let's shoot, and then you hear, bah, bah, bzz, bzz, like they're waiting for us. So, it was
3
interesting.
a.m. in the desert, 3 a.m. We're
Yeah.
there, and
Yes,
there's
yes,
jeeps rolling around and gunfire.
yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
kind of scary.
And
it was,
may I say that Hafid's whole family was involved. His
yes.
wife is what Idir, Hector Dez, named her center, because
Yes.
everything she had everything centered around her and
did.
made everything go smooth. And his sister, I mean his
Yes.
dad, his was it your brother?
Brother,
I-
yeah, everybody was,
Brother,
the whole
everybody was
family.
in there. And his mama, I called her Mama Gaiete, and I believe her name was
Fatima, her name is
Fatima. But
There
I
you
would
go.
call her Mama Gaiete. She didn't understand English, but she would bring us food in the trunk of her car.
Wow.
I'd say, Mama Gaiete, mwah, you know, because that was so sweet. She brought us
Yes.
Moroccan food that was so
It
delicious.
was nice. Yeah, that was one of the things we had. Yeah, it was all good food. The food was really
Yes.
good, and yeah, Trudell did an awesome. Shout out to Trudell, center.
Yes,
Yeah, but
yes.
she kept it all together. Yes, yes.
You did.
So now I know who to call for crew. Hafid, you and your family, especially
There
if
you go.
it's good Moroccan food. Are you kidding me?
Oh, you'll
Oh,
have
yeah.
fun. We really had it nice. Yeah, it will come in like we'll be acting, and then the little car will show up, and here's food. Let's go. It was nice.
So before we sign off, I'd just like to ask each of you to think about the movie and what one takeaway you have that you want to share about it. And we'll start with Mark.
I'd say the fact that Hafid was writing a script, but he didn't have all the answers. And no one had all the answers when we went into this. Even Tiffany didn't know where we were or how we were going to pull this off. But through our unity, our dedication, our trust in each other, our trust in Hafid, I think we pulled off something really unique and spectacular.
Wow.
Mhm.
Awesome. Tiffany,
And you, what is the takeaway from this?
what is one thing that you're taking away from this experience?
The most incredible experience I've ever had in my life is what I'm taking away. And I got to work with people. I've never seen such passion and talent and really crazy hard work in my entire life. And it was an honor to serve them. And what am I taking away? This is like, no one can take this away. And this is the most special thing I've ever participated in. And the most, I'm so grateful that they trusted me. Trusting each other was so pivotal. And so what am I taking away from this is that I adore all of you and will respect you for eternity, and thank you.
That's so
Thank you.
sweet. Liz or Elizabeth.
Yes. You know, this leaves me breathless in the fact that I can't believe that I got to be a part of something so amazing. And Tiffany's right when she talks about trust, because you walk with 2 feet in and you believe in this and you trust everything around you and the script that's put in front of you and the ad lib that say, you know what, because there's many a times that Hafid would say, F the script. Tell me what you would say. So
Nice.
he trusted us in so many ways as we did him. And it was implicit trust, love, and we gained so much from each other. And Tiffany's right. This is a forever bonding film. Well, I'm bonded with these people forever, cast and crew forever.
Wonderful. That's so nice. Hector, share your takeaway. No
My
crying.
takeaway-
No crying.
I do some crying in this film. There were real tears. Takeaway, being in a project like no other, where I got to witness personal sacrifice and commitment, new bonds of friendship, being part of a new family, A lot of us knew each other already, but after this experience, we became family. And that this film tackles social issues in a subtle way, and that I think that it reaches, it reaches the mind, and love it. And I love all my team members from this film.
Great, thank you. Hafid,
Yes.
so what was your takeaway?
Hmm.
Or should I
God,
say, what was your wife's takeaway?
I know. Well, no, she'll be like, he drive me crazy.
Mhm.
But no, it's really, it's that moment where you know how artists, we do what we do, and a lot of times we don't know why we do it, and this having people like this, moments like this, I think that's the reason we do art. Beside the fact that, of course, we give it to the audience to see and whatever they want to do with it, but it's for moments like this, for having these people. Not only that I see them as friends, but they're family, and it's in this weird level of another dimension that I really think Broken Gaiete as a village, as a world, does exist. And I love those people. And it's weird, like no matter what they do, like I know why they're doing it. And it's not because they're bad people. They're just being forced to act the way they are. And somehow weird, in a weird way, I see them. Even if I look at Hector or Liz or Mark, I see them as Kashu, as an Idir, but I love them. It's a weird thing, and again, it's part of it really just having these people, having a nice team, people who are willing to give up, like they said, blood and sweat. I mean, Mark chipped a tooth. I don't know if he said it or not. Yeah. Hector, he messed up some nerve where we had to have him do some weird thing, and Liz, I had her getting naked, like where she's like really she was a trooper. I mean, Tiffany, I'll be calling her like crazy, and she hears my voice and she just goes like this. But at the end of it, really, it's this team, and I can't wait to make Broken Gaiete 2 and Invisible Shackles.
Invisible Shackles, what?
Yes.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
That's coming
Yes.
next.
Yes, it is in the
Okay.
process. Script is almost done, so
Mhm.
it's another crazy shit, and I really don't know when it's happening either. So I don't know. We'll figure that out, Liz.
Tiffany's like, wait a minute, what happened? I didn't know that. So thank you so much for spending time with us and sharing more about your film that's going to be shown during the Sante Fe Film Festival coming up. We appreciate your time and wish you the best. And thank you for giving us some insight into your wonderful team there, because it looks like you guys also had a lot of fun, even though you spent a lot of
Yes.
time in the desert, in the,
Yes.
We
the
did.
cold.
Yes, we did.
Yes.
And thank you, Stephanie, for doing this. This is really nice.
Oh,
Thank you,
you're
Stephanie.
so welcome. I'm also here in Albuquerque now. We
Oh, nice.
moved from Los Angeles almost a year ago, so we're gonna do more these kinds of things for New Mexico filmmakers too.
Awesome.
Hopefully we meet someday. Have a drink or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
I hope so. Yeah, have a
Yeah.
few drinks or
There
one
you
drink.
go.
Yeah.
I don't want to make it sound like I'm an alcoholic here.
Oh, yeah. No, I'll fall asleep. Half a beer does it for me.
True.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks,
Thank-
everybody.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Stephanie.
I'll link you whenever it's up and we're showing it.
Thank you
Awesome.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Right.
Of course.
You guys
Thank you.
take care.
Bye.
Okay,
You too.
bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye.